May 5th, 1945. Okinawa, Japan. Hacksaw Ridge, a 300-foot cliff. The American assault had failed. Hundreds of wounded soldiers were trapped on top, bleeding out. Japanese machine guns were everywhere. Everyone retreated down the cliff. Everyone except one man. His name was Desmond Doss. He was a medic, but here's what made him different. He refused to carry a gun. His fellow soldiers had called him a coward, beaten him, threatened him with court-martial. "You'll get us all killed," they said. But on that cliff, Desmond stayed, alone. For 12 hours, he crawled through Japanese fire, found wounded soldiers, dragged them to the cliff edge, tied ropes around them, lowered them down 300 feet, one by one, and every single time he prayed the same prayer. "Dear Lord, please help me get one more." He saved 75 men without firing a single shot. Won the Medal of Honor, the first soldier who refused to carry a weapon. In 2016, Mel Gibson made a film about him. Andrew Garfield played him, 6 Oscar nominations. This is the story of a man whose faith was stronger than any weapon, and the day one prayer saved 75 lives. Desmond Thomas Doss was born on February 7, 1919, in Lynchburg, Virginia. His family, poor. Father William Doss, World War I veteran, alcoholic, traumatized. Mother Bertha Doss, Seventh-day Adventist, deeply religious Christian. What is Seventh-day Adventist? A Christian denomination. They observe Sabbath on Saturday, holy day. Don't eat pork, don't drink alcohol, and most importantly, they strictly follow the 10 Commandments. One of the 10 Commandments, "Thou shalt not kill." When Desmond was young, his mother showed him a picture. In the picture, Cain and Abel from the Bible. Cain killing his brother Abel. Mother, "Desmond, look. Cain killed his brother. God cursed him. Never, ever kill anyone." That picture burned into Desmond's mind. One day, Desmond's father and uncle got into a fight. Both were drunk. His father pulled out a pistol, was going to kill his uncle. Desmond's mother grabbed the gun, gave it to Desmond. "Run, hide this. Don't give it back to your father." Desmond was 10 years old. Holding a loaded pistol, he ran, hid it. That day, Desmond understood. Guns kill. I will never use a gun. Years passed. Desmond grew up. He was a good boy, went to church, worked, carpenter. 1941, he was 21. Met a girl named Dorothy Shute. They fell in love. Life was good. Then, December 7th, 1941 came. December 7th, 1941. Pearl Harbor attack. Japan struck America. 2,400 Americans killed. The next day, Roosevelt declared war. Desmond heard the news on the radio. "My country is under attack. I have to go." But there was a problem. Desmond was Seventh-day Adventist. "Thou shalt not kill." Can't use a gun, can't kill anyone. But Desmond still wanted to go to war. "I can fight, but not by killing, by saving. I'll be a medic." Medic. Combat doctor. Helps the wounded. Doesn't carry a gun, just saves lives. 1942, Desmond applied to the Army as a conscientious objector, someone who refuses to use weapons due to religious beliefs. The Army was suspicious. "You want to go to war but won't carry a gun? This is useless." But at that time, the Army desperately needed men. They accepted him as a medic. Desmond was assigned to the 77th Infantry Division, Company B, 307th Infantry, April 1942, sent to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, basic training, but his real ordeal would begin there. Fort Jackson, basic training. Desmond started training with other soldiers, First day, the sergeant distributed rifles. Everyone got an M1 Garand rifle. He came to Desmond. "Take it." Desmond, "No, sir, I don't carry weapons." The sergeant froze. "What did you say?" "Due to my religious beliefs, I don't carry weapons, sir. I'm a medic." The sergeant got angry. "Everyone carries a weapon here. You're not special." "I'm sorry, sir, but I won't." Other soldiers heard. They were shocked. "This guy won't carry a weapon? Are we going to war or a picnic?" Night in the barracks, soldiers surrounded Desmond. "You're coming to war with us but won't carry a gun?" "Yes, I'll save the wounded." "You're a coward. You can't have our backs. You'll get us killed." The soldiers beat Desmond. Punches, kicks. Desmond fell to the ground, bleeding. But he didn't fight back, just stayed on the ground. "I love you. God loves you. I won't hurt you." The soldiers got angrier. "This guy's crazy." The commanders noticed. The captain called Desmond. "Doss, you're creating a problem. The other soldiers don't trust you." "Sir, I can help them without carrying a weapon." "No, you're disrupting army order. We can court-martial you." Court-martial threat. Could go to military prison. Could get a dishonorable discharge. But Desmond didn't give up. "Sir, I'm a conscientious objector. The Constitution gives me this right." The army couldn't find a solution. Desmond was right. The Constitution did give the right to refuse weapons due to religious beliefs, but the army didn't want him. For months, Desmond suffered harassment. Saturdays, Sabbath, holy day. Desmond wanted to go to church. Commanders didn't allow it. "You'll work on Saturday, too." Desmond, "Sir, Saturday is my holy day." "I don't care. You'll work." Desmond refused. Got punished, extra duty, KP duty, kitchen duty, worst job. But Desmond endured. He prayed every day. "Lord, give me strength. I'm doing what's right." Finally, 1944, training ended. Desmond still wasn't carrying a weapon, but he'd been accepted as a medic. Fall 1944, the 77th Infantry Division was sent to the Pacific. They were going to war, and his fellow soldiers still didn't trust Desmond. July 1944, landing on Guam Island. Desmond's first combat. Japanese machine guns firing, Americans trying to advance. A soldier got hit, fell to the ground, screaming, "Medic!" Desmond ran, bullets whistling. Desmond didn't care. Reached the wounded soldier, shot in the leg, heavy bleeding. Desmond immediately intervened, applied a tourniquet. Bleeding stopped. Injected morphine to ease the pain, then carried the wounded man on his back, ran, carried him to safety. Other soldiers saw it. Doss, he actually ran, without a weapon, under fire. He saved that man. Next day, another soldier got hit. Again, Desmond ran, saved him. Next day, 2 soldiers. Desmond ran every time, unarmed, defenseless, but fearless. One night, a soldier came to Desmond. "Doss, I'm sorry, I beat you. Called you a coward. I was wrong. You're the bravest man we have." Desmond smiled. "God protects us. I'm just helping." October 1944, landing on Leyte Island, Philippines. Heavy fighting again. One day, Desmond saved 4 wounded soldiers by himself. In one day, under fire, the commanders noticed. "Captain, Doss is a good medic, maybe the best." But his real test hadn't come yet. March 1945, the 77th Infantry Division was sent to Okinawa. Okinawa, gateway to Japan, would be one of the bloodiest battles, and Desmond Doss would make history there. April 1st, 1945, Okinawa landing began. American forces landed on the island. First days were easy. The Japanese had retreated. But the Japanese had a plan. In the interior, in the mountains, they'd built strong defense lines. As American forces advanced, Japanese resistance increased. Shuri Line, the Japanese main defense line, mountains, caves, tunnels, and one of the toughest points, Maeda Escarpment. The Americans gave it a different name, Hacksaw Ridge. What was Hacksaw Ridge? A 300-foot-high volcanic rock wall, vertical, like a cliff. On top, the Japanese. Caves, tunnels, machine guns, mortars. Americans climbing from below, using ropes, ladders. At the top, death. April 29, 1945. The 77th Infantry Division received orders to assault Hacksaw Ridge. Morning, soldiers climbed the cliff with ropes. At the top, Japanese fire from every direction, but the Americans advanced. Within a few hours, they'd taken the top of the ridge. But then the Japanese counterattack began. Mortars, grenades, machine guns. The Americans were pushed back. Retreat! Down, quickly! Soldiers started descending the cliff, but there were wounded on top. Dozens of men, legs blown off, stomachs pierced, bleeding out, screaming, "Medic, help me!" But everyone was retreating. Staying on top meant suicide. Desmond Doss was at the cliff edge. His buddies, "Doss, get down, now!" Desmond heard the screams from the top. "But there are wounded." "Doss, you can't save them. You'll die. Get down." Desmond thought for a second, then turned and ran back to the top. His buddies were shocked. "Doss, come back!" But Desmond was already gone, alone, unarmed, on a ridge full of Japanese. And there, that night and the next day, Desmond Doss performed a miracle. Desmond was running on top of the ridge. Japanese were everywhere. Machine gun fire, mortar explosions. Desmond crawled on the ground, hid behind rocks. He heard a scream. "Help! Medic!" Desmond crawled over. A soldier, leg blown off, blood spurting. Desmond immediately intervened, applied tourniquet, bleeding stopped, gave morphine, then put the soldier on his back, dragged him to the cliff edge. At the cliff edge, Desmond found a rope, one of the ropes the Americans had left for climbing. Desmond wrapped the rope around the wounded soldier, tied a knot, then slowly began lowering him down, hands burning, the rope friction causing pain. But Desmond didn't stop. 300 feet, slowly, carefully. Finally, soldiers below caught the wounded man. "Thanks, Doss." Desmond went back to the top. He had to find one more. He ran, crawled. Japanese fire continued. Found another wounded man, saved him, lowered him down with rope. Then one more, then one more. For 12 hours, Desmond Doss didn't stop. Night fell, darkness. Danger increased even more. But Desmond continued, and every time he lowered a wounded man down the cliff, he prayed the same prayer. "Dear Lord, please help me get one more. Lord, please help me save one more. One more, just one more, then one more, then one more. 75 times, 75 wounded soldiers, 75 times the same prayer. One more, just one more." When morning came, Desmond was exhausted, hands bleeding, body covered with bruises, too tired to stand. But 75 men were alive, all because of Desmond Doss. The soldiers below couldn't believe it. Doss stayed on top alone. 12 hours, saved 75 men. How? The commanders were shocked. "Captain, this is incredible. This man is a hero." But Desmond only said, "God helped. I was just the instrument." The following days, the battle continued. Desmond was wounded, shrapnel in his leg, grenade fragments, broken arm. But he survived. May 1945, the Battle of Okinawa ended. Desmond returned to America, and something was waiting for him. The Medal of Honor. October 12, 1945, White House, Washington, D.C. President Harry S. Truman presented Desmond Doss with the Medal of Honor, America's highest military honor. But Desmond was the first conscientious objector to win the Medal of Honor, the first soldier who refused to carry a weapon, the first pacifist war hero. During the ceremony, Truman looked at Desmond. "Private Doss, you have extraordinary courage. Unarmed, you saved 75 men. America honors you." Desmond: "Thank you, Mr. President, but I only did my duty. God helped." It made the news. Soldier who refused guns wins Medal of Honor. Pacifist hero saves 75 lives. America was shocked, but respectful. After the war, Desmond married Dorothy, his fiancée who'd waited through the war. They returned to Virginia, bought a farm, lived a simple life, but Desmond's health was poor. The wounds he received in Okinawa, his lungs were damaged, shrapnel. He developed tuberculosis, spent 5 years in the hospital. In one surgery, a rib and part of a lung were removed. Antibiotics caused hearing loss. He became deaf. But Desmond didn't complain. "God gave me the chance to save 75 men. These wounds are a small price." Years passed. Desmond gave speeches in churches, schools, told his story. Faith is stronger than any weapon. March 23, 2006, Desmond Doss died. He was 87 years old, buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Full military honors, with his Medal of Honor. The man who refused to carry a weapon, resting among heroes. 2016, Mel Gibson made a film, Hacksaw Ridge. Andrew Garfield played Desmond Doss. The film told Desmond's story, his rejection, his beating, his saving of 75 at Hacksaw Ridge, his one more prayer. The film was very successful. 6 Oscar nominations, won 2 Oscars, film editing, sound mixing. Millions learned Desmond's story. Today, 2025. Desmond Doss's story still inspires because he showed that you don't need a weapon to be brave. You don't need to kill to save lives. Faith is stronger than fear and violence. Desmond Doss refused to carry a gun. His buddies beat him, called him a coward. But on Hacksaw Ridge, alone, for 12 hours, he saved 75 men. Every time he prayed, "Lord, please help me save one more." And God helped. 75 times. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe, because sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones who don't carry weapons. Desmond Doss proved that.